Joel, when was the last time we did a SpewnedIt episode?
I mean, it's been ages, right?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
You want to start season 3?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Welcome back to the SpewnedIt Podcast. Hey everybody, my name's Jensen. This is my great friend Joel. It's great to be back. And this season we are going to be introducing some new segments, as well as bringing back some old classics.
Yeah. Jensen and I are so excited for a new season. We appreciate your support, and we hope that you are just as excited as we are. Just before we get into any of that, though, gents, I'm in a bit of a crisis, bro. I need some help. I need a fresh new song. I need you to give me something, man. What have you got for me? Come on.
As always, I've got you, Joel. Knife by Hex Girlfriend. It's stylized Hex GF, right? 2 musicians from the band Magic Man, a band which I loved, by the way, and they disbanded, sadly, after 1 album. These guys have come back. They have come together with this song, Knife. Beautiful vocals, upbeat drum line, and it's just going to grace your headphones, really. And it's, okay, so we got a smooth alt-rock song. It's equal parts something that you can just vibe to, or if you want, you can get up, dance a little bit. It's got the moves. It's almost, it doesn't know what it wants to be in the best kind of way. And if you like Magic Man, The Midnight, Mr. Wives, anything that sounds something like that, kind of an alt-rock, sort of poppy vibe, you're absolutely going to love this song.
Okay, mate, I'm sold. That sounds good. I'm gonna give it, because I fully trust your music taste as well. So I'll give it a listen, and I will get back to you 100%, mate. I'm so glad that you've always got me, bro. I appreciate it a lot.
I got you. And now I need a favor from you. Been looking for a new movie. What do you got? Recent releases. Go.
Bro, to quote yourself, I've got you. Okay, so Venom 2, right? Let There Be Carnage. Brilliant movie. Okay, it's the second in the Venom series. It's got Tom Hardy in it. We're both big fans of Tom Hardy, and it's to the point in the franchise where the relationship between Tom Hardy and Venom, 2 separate beings, is getting a little bit tricky. And basically, throughout the movie, they have to battle their differences for the sake of both of their lives. Now, I was very fortunate to be able to see this in the cinema with my younger brother, and oh my days, what a movie experience, okay? However, I think that I got the best of it because I saw it at the cinema. Personally, I wouldn't watch it again because the main reason being I thought the first one was better. However, definitely worth giving it a watch. If you can see it on either a big screen or at the cinemas, then that is what I would suggest, Jensen, my good man.
Thank you. Exactly what I was looking for. The year is 4093. Starship captains roam the galaxies, searching for conquest and glory.
Our 2 brave, nay, fearless, nay, lion-hearted heroes had faced many a foe in their time, and their eyes had seen too many men lost.
Still, Commanders Brown and Anderson were legends among the Star Traders, their names whispered only in friendly territories lest someone overhear and bring down legendary justice on their foes.
However, as of recent, there had been talks, whispers in the air of a darker force, something that could topple even our legendary heroes.
An illegal substance that would travel the starship, wiping out friend and foe alike. A very illegal, very dangerous, very dastardly space dust.
Yet this put no fear in our heroes' hearts. They were no strangers to danger, action, and awesomeness.
On one fateful star afternoon, they were traveling as they often did, searching for their next adventure, when all of a sudden, alarm bells started ringing in the cabin.
For there was on the horizon a mere pirate ship, a mere lonely ship. However, this was not like the likes that our heroes had ever seen before. There was something wrong, something off, something different?
They couldn't quite place their finger on it, but before they knew what was happening, at the speed of light, a torpedo the likes of which they had never seen before struck the side of their ship, blowing a massive hole and expunging almost half the crew in the process.
However, with a keen sense of awareness, both our heroes stayed calm, taking control of either halves of the men left. They went to go and secure the bridge and to make sure that the pirate ship would be kept at bay and to control the situation calmly.
They did so with pristine valor and vigor, both equally contributing to their success, as they always had been. But 3 more pirate ships came out of hyperspace and boarded our hero's starship. The crew gave up on them. They turned, in fact, on our commanders, and our commanders were left empty-handed and in a hopeless scenario.
After many rounds being fired back and forth, our heroes were in distress. The whole crew against them, men who they trusted their lives with, now firing against them. Against the door to the bridge, all hope seemed lost.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Would this be the end? Our commanders stood side by side, turned to each other, and nodded.
And then, just as the final press of men would go on and the torpedoes would be launched into their bays, it seemed that the fate of our heroes and the fate of the starship would be no more.
A brief moment of silence, and then a voice crying out into the void. "Lads, it's time for lunch."
Jensen and Joel followed the call for a nice meal of matoke and G-nut sauce as they walked away from the battlefield on a sunny Ugandan afternoon. And what a meal it was. For as they were eating, Joel turned to Jensen and said, "Jensen, do you know what time it is?"
And Jensen, as he often did, paused for a second in thought and said, "Yes, I think I do." And now it's time for Lights, Camera, Fiction with Andy Reeves and Matt Circus.
Welcome back to your favorite improvisational film, trailer, movie show. I am Andy Reeves, and this, of course, is my co-host, Matt Circus.
Well, thanks, Andy. For those of you who may be new to the program, this is where we are generated several random movie titles, and we must create trailers for said random movie titles, and it's all done off the cuff.
Indeed, Matt. Now, let's see what our first title is today.
Foreigner in the Center of the Earth. Deep in the underground, beneath the Earth's crust, the mantle, or whatever else the center of the Earth has been called, there exists a man which no one knows, for no one has ever found him.
However, this man, who has said that his name is Matt the Man, has been labelled many nasty things, such as weirdo, loser, and foreigner.
How can one be a native if one has never been anywhere? When Matt, the alleged foreigner, escapes his deep underground hole, he will experience sunshine for the first time.
And the world will be graced by the kindness of the foreigner who lives in the center of the earth.
A cheeky romance coming this Valentine's Day.
Fish stalks me. In a surprising turn of events, Disney seemed to have wanted to take a second look at the movie Finding Dory. This time from the perspective of a little friendly blue fish who gets followed by a weird orange clown.
In this new, feminist-centered dramedy, we will examine the dark side of following someone across the depths of the ocean.
Especially when that person may or may not have short-term memory loss. And being a clown in this situation is not ideal.
There's no time for jokes when you're running for your life from the orange and white stalk of fish known as Merlin.
For Merlin is a slippery, funny customer, but no be fooled. Because when a fish stalks you, you best bet your bottom dollar that
Sand
fish
dollar.
stalks me as well. Coming to theaters soon. Watch your back.
And your fish
Because
bowls.
there might be a fish on it. So watch out.
Medics and mercenaries. When you come home from war, one thing you might hope for is a little bit of tender, loving kindness in the form of a Band-Aid, an antibiotic, or perhaps even a bandage.
Or, as we say here in the UK, a plaster.
Plaster.
Or some Calpol. But what happens, may I ask you, when these things are not available?
As a mercenary, this is a problem. So you've got to be able to go and find yourself a medic, or perhaps a plural noun form of medic. Medics.
Or the even more popular term, the Med-Eyes. And so how will the medics and the mercenaries find each other, work together in this latest horror comedy?
Oh. Because who are the medics gonna medicize if they don't got the mercenaries? It's a match made in horrific heaven to make you laugh and get you waking up on the right side of the bed.
And wondering when your next doctor's appointment is. It's the latest horror comedy
PSA.
film you need to see.
Yep.
Medics and mercenaries.
Coming to a hospital or doctor's office near you.
Or maybe maybe like a message board as well, because I think
Yeah.
it's quite a
We gotta.
it's a good message
It's a
that
good
they've
message.
got on this
Yeah,
one.
put the plaster on. Get to I'm actually
Yeah.
I like to have an eye appointment, so I might actually go catch that. I don't know if you wanted to like tag along or something.
I mean, funnily enough, before we were talking, I was looking through the catalog for the iMagazine TV. They're literally playing this in about 15 minutes. Do you want me? Should I come and get you?
Yeah.
Wicked, man.
Let's get a boost.
I'll see you in 10.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Tonight on SpewnedIt News, Madagascar voted the nicest place to live in the world by lemurs. Woman with scary tattoo arrested for the 37th time. And our main story, man found having tea party with ostrich. Again. I'm kicking it to our in-house correspondent, Joel Brown. He's on the scene. Joel, what have you got for us?
Jensen, it's a pleasure to hear your voice now, my good sir. And yes, would you believe it? This man, he's absolute lunatic. I really don't know what's going on. He sat down with an ostrich again. This is not even the first, not the second, but the third time. He seems to be having an Earl Grey tea of all teas. And the ostrich, I dare say, looks like he's having a great time. I did try to speak to them. However, they were both very very in-depth in a conversation regarding, Jensen, you're never going to guess this, shortbread biscuits, and deciding which one is the best. A fascinating conversation, I'm sure, and I hope that I will be able to get into the conversation soon, and I will bring you as many updates as I can as and when they come back to you.
Thank you so much, Joel. That was a fascinating tale. I do have one question for you from our boys here in the studio, actually, and that question is, why shortbread and why Earl Grey? What's wrong with a simple black tea, breakfast tea, herbal? I am flabbergasted right now, and the studio and the viewers at home need to know, why Earl Grey, why shortbread biscuits?
Jensen, honestly, I couldn't agree more with you, my good man. Shortbread biscuits, are you kidding me? Only today I had one of the legendary Jaffa cakes. Little bit of cake, little bit of jam, and a little bit of chocolate on top. What is wrong with that? The shortbread biscuit is like an edible brick. I don't know why these guys are so interested. And with the Earl Grey, do not get me started. There is nothing wrong, to answer your question and the concerned questions of the listeners. There's nothing wrong with a regular cup of tea. The fact that these men, well, I say these, this man and this ostrich are drinking Earl Grey tea remains a mystery. I am going to jump into the conversation soon, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with any updates. But from myself to you at home, sitting concerned, do not panic. I will keep them far away from us and our regular tea drinking habits. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Joel. Now, in the meantime, while we wait for those updates, the viral photo of a bear riding a tricycle, has it been photoshopped? We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks for listening, everybody. We have a blast doing this, as always, and we hope you have enjoyed our little show for you here today.
Absolutely. You guys are going to be seeing more of the segments that we were doing over the course of this episode, but please do let us know what your favorite was. We had a great time making these, so feel free, chuck it in the comments below. Let us know what your favorite was. Like and subscribe while you're there. But I'm so happy to say that the SpewnedIt boys are back, and we will see you next week.